people, what's up? Um, I have to whisper because it's 1 o'clock and people are trying to sleep, and that's why you can't really see me that well because, well, we have to turn off all the lights except this one. So, right now, I'm gonna give my review of Sherlock Holmes that I saw not too long ago, directed by Guy Ritchie. And just to let you know, you may see me do this a little bit. It's because I have a canker sore right here and it really, really hurts. So, you're gonna see me messing with it a little bit. So, here's my review of Sherlock Holmes. In my Avatar review, I said that I would cover 3 things. The art, the acting, and the story. The art in Sherlock Holmes obviously wasn't as good as Avatar, because Avatar, was absolutely bright, beautiful, and just over the top, as what James Cameron does. Sherlock Holmes doesn't really have all that because it's set in the 1600s London, which is when Sherlock Holmes was around that time. So they didn't really have all the fancy schmancy bright effects like they should have. But they did have some very artistic styles that I personally enjoyed. One of them being is, well, actually, first of all, before I get into it, all of you people who have not seen Sherlock Holmes have to go and see the movie. Not right now, because it's probably 1 o'clock in the morning. So, anyway. Fuck. So, artistic styles, one of them was, like some parts of the movie, like the story stops and you enter Sherlock's head on how he's going to take out his opponent, how he's going to use his martial arts to neutralize and take down his enemy, and I really, really like that. I haven't really seen any movie where you actually enter someone's mind and see how they're going to perform in action. In movies, when you're in their head, you listen to what they're thinking. But in Sherlock Holmes, you're in his head and you're listening to what he's going to do next. I really like that. And also, the slow motion explosion when all the barrels were exploding, I really like that. Because not only was it in slow motion and it really looked good, but yummy. That scene was mainly shot in one shot, and by one shot I mean as soon as the slow motion started, there weren't any cuts. The only cuts were when they were looking sideways. I really like that because I haven't really seen that in the recent films, where they had a really, really awesome shot in just one shot and no cuts. So I really, really, really like the art style. There wasn't art effects like Avatar. It was mainly style, and no one hasn't really gone for style except for Avatar in these recent movies. So I really liked the art. Then the acting. Do I really have to say anything about the acting? I mean, it's with Robert Downey Jr. Any movie involving him you're gonna experience a spectacular and interesting movie because of his hyperactiveness. Well, I don't know if it's hyperactiveness, but he's every scene, every character he plays, he's crazy in it. You can tell from Iron Man and Sherlock Holmes. Um, and also, he made Sherlock Holmes seem extremely smart and a little bit crazy, which is what most amazing smart people do. Like Einstein, he was incredibly brilliant, but he was also crazy. Sherlock Holmes was brilliantly smart and senilely crazy. And Robert Downey Jr. really portrayed this excellently. So I really like that. Um, so we covered the art, covered the acting. Now we have to cover the story. Um, I had a lot of trouble prepping on what to say for this story because the story was just so much better than Avatar that, see, I can't even speak now. It's just so wonderful, and it wasn't wonderful, but it was like a, it was a detective story, yes, but um like the the way they made it was just spectacular because, okay, um you got the fake magician, the fake witch, um which is the main bad guy. um he committed the murders and he faked his own death, and us as the viewers have no idea how he did it. We just assume that's magic. But um, Sherlock Holmes, being the extremely bright and smart detective that he is, um, tells us how these mysteries and these murders have evolved and have been performed. And he tells us that it's not magic. It's just clever, brilliant, scientific mumbo jumbo, which is which was spectacular. Um, I mean, it's not like CSI where you look at, oh, um, they have like the black lights and they look over and, oh, look, fingerprint. Let's take the fingerprint, let's go over to our database, and let's match it up, and we know who the killer is. Um, Sherlock Holmes doesn't figure out who is the killer. He already knows who's the killer, but he's trying to figure out why he would do this. And he does this with the tiniest things. Um, like, uh, like when the guy who was killed in the bathtub, all he did was scratch the bathtub, and you figure out that the copper in it that reacted with the water, um, I guess, poisons the guy and it killed him. And he noticed the littlest, tiniest things that kills people, which was, which is much better than the detective story and much more interesting than Avatar. And it's not cliche at all, so I really personally like that. So that's it. We cover the art, and we cover the acting, and we cover the story. So overall, I give this movie a perfect 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed what Guy Ritchie, which is the director of this movie, I know no one really knows him, but I think he's I think he's now known ever since he made this movie. I think if he keeps on making movies like this movie, he'll be very famous, like James Cameron and Quentin Tarantino. So 10 out of 10, definitely worth the $9 to $11 that are paid. G&M Freak signing out. It is really dark, and I think I woke up all my parents.